Hey, this is Christina Barnes with Motivated Marriage, and I'm going to teach you how to have a good fight. Yes, I don't care if you're the happiest couple on the planet, you're still going to have an argument. And if you don't, it's not a healthy relationship. You need to have disagreements, you need to have arguments, but learning how to communicate with your spouse is going to make the world of a difference. And I know whenever I learned exactly how I was wired and how my spouse was wired, we were able to communicate so much better because I was able to learn exactly how to approach him in a way that would he would understand and listen instead of him just shutting down and avoiding me. And so I'm going to teach you an insight on how to do that, and also learn that you don't have to win every single fight. The goal is to communicate and to be listened to and to be heard and to really learn those things. And so I've learned also how to agree to disagree, but learning these insights are going to help you get there so much. So I'm going to go over a couple of different key personality traits, and you may find yourself in one of these and your spouse in a completely different communication style. And the goal is to learn their strengths and what their weaknesses are, and how you can adapt to your strengths and build on your strengths to learn more of their strengths. And so let's go ahead and go over that. First, we have our teddy bears. Now, a teddy bear is exactly what it sounds. They're lovable, they're just so likable, they have tons of friends, everyone just loves to be around them. It's really difficult and hard to be mad at a teddy bear because everybody just loves them. And they just want to be the peacemakers and keep peace with everyone. They just want to make everyone happy and peaceful. Now, some growth areas for teddy bears would be that they can be taken advantage of pretty easily just because they have the biggest hearts for people and they really just see the good in people. They also tend to avoid conflict, and they can also become a doormat because sometimes people just walk all over them just because they're so loving and so nice. And so those are some growth areas, but they're really likable and have a lot of great strengths. Now, another personality trait would be a turtle. And it pretty much is what it sounds. They do have some great strengths in the fact that they can look past conflict, and they really pretty much know that conflicts will kind of resolve itself. They don't really approach it or hit it head on. They just kind of let the cards fall and let things just happen where they happen. Now, they're pretty calm on the outside, and their emotions are really steady. These people are not all over the board with their emotions. They're just calm, cool, and collected, and they're steady. And that's really good, especially when they're paired with another personality trait where their emotions may be high. So also, they can de-escalate emotions and conflicts. Now, some growth areas would be that they minimize or deny conflict altogether. And so they just avoid it. They may, when conflict comes at them, they may want to tuck their head in their shell and avoid it and hide from it because they really can't stand conflict. And when major conflict tends to arise, it gets worse whenever it's not addressed. And so that's why there's some growth areas that they can learn how to not avoid the conflict, and if they can grow in that, because things can become worse if they avoid it all the time. Now, another personality trait is a shark. Now, sharks have a lot of great strengths in the fact that they have the ability to be strong. They're also very courageous people. Now, when it comes to conflicts with sharks, they can bring conflicts out in the open, and they don't have a hard time hashing it out and really talking things through. They can also confront bullies. They're very strong leaders, and they really stand for a cause. And so they're great leaders. Now, some growth areas for sharks is that they can tend to become a little bit too pushy whenever it comes to approaching conflict. They can have their agenda pushed a little bit too much and too strong. They can also come across the wrong way, and that can easily hurt people's feelings. They may not mean to hurt someone's feelings, but just because they come across so strong, the other person may not know even how to take them or how to handle them, and so they can become offended easily, and their feelings can be hurt. Now, sometimes sharks have a hard time keeping their emotions in check because they're so strong about something that their emotions kind of tend to be a little bit risen there. Another personality trait is also called an owl. Now, an owl has some great strengths because they can do things with integrity. They also easily build trust and respect among people. One of their awesome strengths is that they're very open-minded for solutions, and they look at things sometimes outside the box. It's not just one way. They kind of look at all different areas for ways to have solutions. Their emotions are also pretty steady and even. They're not all over the board, so they have some great strengths. Now, some growth areas for owls would be that they typically only see the good in people. Now, this can be a strength and it can also be a weakness, because they can be blinded on some areas that they may never see the flaws in, but they're only focusing on the good. So that could be a strength or a weakness. They also may be viewed to have little to no emotions. Now, this can be viewed for them having little to no emotions because they're so steady on their emotions. Now, let's say you may be a shark or your spouse may be a turtle. Now, how you approach them may be that you want to just hit things straight out. You want to get it all out in the open, and you want to talk about things, and it's really important for you to do that. Now, it could be frustrating if you're a shark and let's say you're married to a turtle, because the turtle may want to avoid the conflict. They'll run from it. They don't even want to deal with it. They want to hide from it. And what you can grow in as a shark is your trait on how you approach a turtle or a teddy bear. Your approach can make all the difference in the world because they avoid conflict. What you could do is approach them whenever you're not emotionally high and you're a little bit more steady on your emotions and you've kind of calmed down a little bit, and approach them a little bit more gently, and you're going to have a lot more success, so they won't run and avoid the conflict altogether. So this could be a strength for you. Now, as a turtle or a teddy bear, you can learn that to listen to the argument over here and really hear what they're saying, and that's going to help you actually repeat what the other person is saying back, and so that way they know that they've been heard and they can validate that you understand where they're coming from. This is a great strength that these people can grow in. And so you may have a primary personality trait and then a secondary, or vice versa, and wherever you are on the board, you may be looking at this and you may say, okay, well, I'm here, my spouse is here, and it's good to know where you are and where your spouse is, and that way you can say, oh, that's why they're avoiding me, or that's why they come at me so strong. And so it's really neat to understand the different personalities so you can grow and communicate better and have more effective communication and have a good fight when it's all said and done, because you need to have communication and you need to be able to keep it flowing. So I'm Christina, and I'm here to help make marriages strong.